Hi everyone, this is Christina with an information about Blender 2.8.0 about a major change in the menus. Just yesterday I did this video here about the new autosave function for the preferences, which is a really great feature. And in the video I mentioned I hope they keep the appearance of the preferences like this here. The day before that looked different and I didn't like that previous version. This one I really liked and was hoping they will maybe keep it. And of course when they uploaded the new version last night I was curious about this here and decided to download it and have a look at if they have changed it. And after I've unzipped the new Blender version and went to the edit menu, I was baffled that the preferences were gone. My first thought was, well, in 2.7.9 we had the preferences in the file menu, maybe they moved that back, but nope, no preferences, and they aren't in the other menus either. So the second thought was, well, that's a bug. I found the preferences with the search bar, could open them, could activate and deactivate add-ons, save settings, everything worked fine. So it was just a problem with the menu. Of course I reported that, and I wasn't the only one. There were quite a few people who reported that, but in the middle of the night you can't check that. Those reports are held back till a developer could have a look at it. I'm in Germany, that's the same time zone as Amsterdam where the Blender Foundation is. So I knew nobody was working when all reports held back. I couldn't check if somebody had reported that, so I wasn't really surprised when my ticket was closed at duplicate. But that is done in a way that you always can follow those links, and then at some point you get to the entry where they work on or comment on. And yes, I clicked there and found out that's not a bug, that's a feature. Really, this no bug at all, just a new feature. Pablo Vasquez, who is also hosting the live stream, the Blender live stream on Mondays, suggested to clean up the menus, and I totally agree. When we have a look at older versions, for example here in the help menu, I don't need the link to the Blender store in the help menu. That's an example, and really in general I totally agree with this whole topic, with the idea behind it. What I personally don't like is the way they implemented that. When I remember that right, more than 60% of all Blender users are on Windows, but they implemented that Linux style with this icon here. As a Windows user in general, you wouldn't come to the conclusion that there is a menu behind. This is a version from the 3rd or 4th May. When you click here on that icon, that only opened the splash screen. To be honest, I never clicked there. In 2.7.9 we didn't have that icon here in this position. I never clicked there with a 2.8.0, and even if I did, if I had seen, okay, this only opens the splash screen, totally useless, I just would have forgotten about that and never used it again. Why, as a Windows user, should I try this icon here as a menu? Most of us just wouldn't do that. We are used to the text menus and they are totally fine, and they can easily name this Blender or more or whatever. I really don't like this solution and I hope they change that. I always try to be polite, but if there's something that's bothering me, I clearly say, hey, for me that's not okay. And I also did that with other users. If you scroll through, I will leave the link in the description below. If you want to read it, you can read it yourself. There are quite some entries. If you look through, Brecht van Lommel is one of the main developers of Blender. Personally, I don't think it's an improvement. William Reinisch is also involved in the development as far as I know. He also doesn't like that. And funnily enough, if I scroll down, here this guy, yes, he is one of the Windows devs. He was very polite and friendly. It would have been nice to have been included in this conversation. They had a meeting about this and decided we go with this icon. And he also says this is against all the UI rules we have, against the UI standard. I guess my entry, maybe for tonight it would be the last, but I'm convinced tomorrow there will be more entries, and I hope they will listen and change that. And if you're curious how those preferences look now here, this is how they are today, and that was the solution from yesterday, and I still would prefer that. Hamburger menus are very in, I know, but in some cases totally unnecessary. Here I have a one click. When I will save my preferences, one click and it's done. Here I have first click this and then search for the entry I want. And we have enough space there. It's not that there isn't enough space in this field. There really is enough. So why use a hamburger icon? And I will also hope they change this back. But about this here, I really hope they change that and name that menu Blender or more or whatever. What do you think about that? About the new menu in general, the additional menu, is that okay with you? And what do you think about the implementation? Please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, have a great time, and bye bye.